Welcome to the Female VC Lab podcast. I have Faye here today. Faye, in one line, give me your name, your title, and the name of your fund.
My name is Faye Sahai with Vinaj Ventures and the Talak Fund.
Wonderful. So, Faye, what inspired you to become a venture capitalist or investor?
I've been working in healthcare for a long time, both at Blue Shield, Kaiser Permanente, and also in SureTech with AIG and then at Deloitte. And so I've been working in the innovation and emerging technology space, a lot of venture capitalists, incubators, accelerators, and startups. So we were doing it from a corporate venture capital perspective, spun off from the corporate venture capital into the VC perspective here. And really what inspired me with our Vinaj Ventures and our Talasi Fund is that, according to JAMA, our mental health issues really arise early in our life, half of that beginning when we're 14 years old.
Wow.
But it usually takes us 10 years to properly detect it, diagnose it, and treat it.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier on, we can help change the trajectory and wellness of so many. And if you look at it, and I know June is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, and May overall, is that we just have such an opportunity, because what we know is it's just growing. It's known as a loneliest generation.
Unfortunately, that's growing.
Top of it, suicide is a great cause for we're losing so many. So how can we address mental health earlier with the right solutions for the right people and in a diverse way?
Thank you for that. What is your investment thesis and what is the motivation behind your thesis?
So we invest in extraordinary founders harnessing tech to improve the mental well-being in young people. With the digital world consuming a big portion of people's lives, we feel tech-enabled interventions could be that part in really increasing their mental health and well-being. We know that we have our phone all the time, that with you anywhere, anytime. So we really are looking at these early stage companies that are affordable, scalable solutions. And we're looking at it in multiple ways. Ones that foster positive online experiences and interactions, increase to access to care and support, bolstering our positive skill building and resilience skills, and just overall improving our mental health and well-being.
That's wonderful. So what are you currently learning or listening to or reading these days?
Definitely learning a lot. I feel forever going to be a learner, a student of life and learning. So our fund is a new fund for 2 years up and running. And then we've looked at hundreds and hundreds of startups. And we definitely see a growing trend in digital health has been always a large investment, but the mental health side has only been a small portion of that in the past couple of years, which has been amazing from that standpoint. And when I look to learn and read, I am going to podcasts such as yours, Crunch.
Thank you for that.
Sites, and really venturing out and looking and exploring many different areas and trends.
That's awesome. So in 2 years, we're talking again. This is the bonus question in case anyone was curious. Everyone gets it. When we're speaking, how do you see venture capital or investing having changed or evolved? How do you see it different?
So my hope in 2 years is currently women are less than 5% of the VCs, people of color, which is also a low percentage. My hope in 2 years is that we continue to grow the diversity and have diverse leadership in venture capital sector, because I think it's just such an opportunity to really think differently, share unique perspectives, invest in unique opportunities. And we do see that when diverse individuals and women VCs are there in those positions, they are more dramatically likely to invest in other women startups and women-led companies. Because right now, women-led founders only get 2.32% of venture capital.
Even still.
Yes. And so when you think about that, and we are over half the population, we so that's what's been so interesting to see is that it took women led venture capital companies to actually invest in femtech because guys didn't get it. How can we expect them to get it? They just don't understand it. It's
Right.
understand the opportunity or the problem. So
Well, even think about mental health too. What you were discussing. Who's really going like? There probably are some men more have some affinity to that, but they're a little less conscientious about mental health. Whereas women are absolutely going to think and invest in that a little bit more than men. Even some of these subtle things that we think, okay, this impacts everyone, mental health. Who's really investing in it?
exactly. Sadly to say, it is girls and women that are more likely to have suicidal thoughts and contemplate. However, it's men that are more successful in their suicide because they pick
Mm.
violence, guns and hanging. So I think it's a problem for both. But what's been really interesting is when we've been engaging, to your point, women are more likely to talk about their mental health. But there's still so many kind of biases and stigma about talking mental health. So my hope in 2 years is that we're overcoming that stigma of mental health and we really see it just like our physical health. Our
Yes.
mind connected in that way. And we see a lot of comorbid conditions where you could have a heart disease, but you also have depression. You could have
Mhm.
an disease and high blood pressure. It very much correlates. So really that mental health is really a part of our physical health. And so my hope is we continue to see increased investments, innovation, a diversified venture capital, diversified founders in this area. And so I'm excited about that in the future.
Wonderful. So, how do people get into contact with you?
They can reach out to me on LinkedIn or also go to our Vinaj, Vinaj.com website and connect with us there as well.
All right, wonderful. So, I want to thank you so much today, Faye from Vinaj Ventures, for being our guest on the Female VC Lab podcast.